What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and this is your Bridgerton review. We are back this week with our next couple of episodes of Bridgerton. We are on episode 4. I took 2 pages worth of notes, so we have a lot to get through. It seemed like it was a lot of little scenes, so I am going to skip over some scenes that weren't either crucial to the storyline. It seems like everything is really crucial to the storyline, but we'll get there. So we start off in the Queen's court with Daphne meeting the Prince of Prussia. Friedrich, I think his name is. He gives her this really nice bejeweled necklace, and she's putting it on. He's putting it on her, and as he's touching her, she's having this flashback or this feeling that it's actually Simon touching her, and she gets all like bothered by it. Even the prince was like, "Are you okay? Is everything okay? Do you not feel well?" And she's like, "Oh no, I feel fine." Lady Whistledown explains in her circular that how what a great feat it is for Daphne to go from potentially being a duchess to being a princess. That's higher in rank. Simon and Will, the boxer, Simon explains to Will that he's leaving for England, and he lets him know, well, I'm having a fight and I need you to be there because you hold a lot of influence in town. And, if people know that you're here, they're more likely to come. And then the wife basically says, why don't you just help us out? And he's like, okay, I'll come. And he's like, I guess you just don't want to see Daphne. And he's like, no. The wife is like, no, just help us. And that's what it is. So then Marina is being is being looked after or over, or what is she, honey, that old ass man, he said he had soldier's teeth. That was so fucking gross. So you have dead human dead teeth in your face. You're gross. And you think some young girl wants to get up under you and do what now? Girl, bye. Tells the old ass man that they're going to be at the Trowbridge ball, and hopefully there will be younger suitors there. This is what Marina's telling Lady Featherington, and she's like, "Girl, nobody else is going to be there. If the suitors are younger than you, you're not going to have time. You are in the condition that you're in. We need somebody who's not going to really pay close attention and is just looking for an heir. So you don't have time to be courting some younger man. Doesn't you just don't have time for that." Lady Featherington is asking Lord Featherington if she could send Marina back. Is there any way that we can send her back? Because this is just too much. And then all of a sudden, Philippa, the other daughter, a caller comes for her. So the mother is really happy about that. She's like, okay, I can get another daughter married off. Eloise still wants to know why women wear feathers. They just look like birds squawking for a man's attention. I love Eloise. I love Eloise. Eloise and Penelope are having this conversation about squawking and settling or never leaving the nest. And then she explains that Lady Whistledown is probably living the best life, and we need to find who this woman is because she is probably single, she's probably rich, she's probably, just this great woman who is not allowing the tools of society to make her into these women that Eloise is just doesn't simply respect to me. So at the boxing match, Daphne and Anthony show up to the boxing match. They meet the prince there, and he tells her that he asked the brother to bring her. And so they sit down. She sees Simon. He actually sees her and becomes distracted. This is the first time we see Lord Featherington placing a bet. And he bets on Will's opponent, the white guy. When Simon is in getting into the fight, right? The fight is starting. He's getting into the fight. Honey, Daphne is over there looking at him like, ooh, baby, you don't know what I would do to you. You don't even know what I would do to you. And he's getting all into the fight and everything. And Daphne says to the prince about loving her family or loving family. He's making hints, kind of having small talk with her, I guess trying to see where her head is. And she says, "Yeah, I love family. I love my family." And we get here. She loves family. She has eight. It's eight of them all together. They were all made with love and all of this stuff. So she loves her family. She doesn't know what she would do without them. So Will ends up beating the white dude's ass, Gillespie's ass, and Lord Featherington loses the bet. And he is telling these group of men that he will have their money for them. Don't worry about it. I'll have your money. I'll have your money. So Benedict, he meets the painter. I think his name is Henry. That's what I wrote down. And he's asking him about his artwork. And he was like, well, come to my studio. You'll be able to, sit with like minds, other people who have the same interests as you. So come to my house. You're more than welcome. He's like, okay. So Anthony and Simon have this meeting and he's like, so you're leaving town? And he's like, yeah. He was like, you know what? I didn't know that you were going to be honorable with my sister, but I see that you are. The prince is actually very interested in her. You kind of fell back, and thank you for that. So here comes the prince. He asked to speak to Anthony, and Simon is cutting his eyes at him like, you motherfucker, I don't even want to fuck with you. I don't like you. You got an attitude. Back at the Bridgerton house, Violet I always say Bridgington. It's Bridgerton. So Violet, she lets Daphne know you should not have been at a boxing match. That's not a place for ladies. And she's like, well, it was the Duke was, I mean, not the Duke was there. The Prince was there too. So it is not a place for him. I mean, like, what's up? And then one of her sisters, I think it was is it Hyacinth? I think it was Hyacinth. She seems to have a lot of time on the camera, so I'm so sure we'll get into her storyline maybe next season a little bit more. I know next season they're supposed to be focusing on Anthony, I guess according to how the books are written. And that's what they said on Netflix that the next season will be focused on him coming in spring of this year. So this is going to be exciting. I'm glad to see these families and how they are developing. Hopefully we'll see more black families, royal families, or whatever they're calling them. I don't know. So she was like, I don't know. I didn't see Simon there. I don't know. I didn't see him. And so Anthony comes running in. He says, the prince has asked for permission to propose to you. Daphne is looking all crazy, like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And the mother catches on and she's like, you don't have to make your decision now. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. So later on that evening, you see Daphne in the mirror looking at the necklace that the prince gave her. And the mother's like, is it beautiful? And she was like, no, do you like it? And she was like, no, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. She's like, no, but do you like it? And she explains to her mother goes, what happened with you and Simon? Like, what went on? And she was like, girl, we were just playing. I know what you saw. I know what you think you saw. But it was a lie. We were pretending. This was not real. He was doing it to help me. It's not real. And she was like, but I know what I saw. And like the mom is like, girl, I could tell that you guys really like each other. Like, what are you doing? And she's like, well, this is what you wanted, right? The prince wants me. I'm going to be a princess. She's like, no, honey, I did not want that for you. I want you to be loved. I want all the best for you, but I want it to be from a place of love, not from a place of class and status. No, I want you to do what I did, basically. And she's like, it's over. Don't worry about it. Anyways, it's just over. So she starts crying and the mother consoles her. So the mother, like you guys were saying in the last thing and um, in the last comment section, that the mother can really tell that Simon and Daphne have something special, a friendship. And we see this played out through the episode. Simon and Lady Danbury are walking through his home, and she's like, where are you going to go? It's like, wherever you're going, I'm sure you're going to take it for granted. You were a fool to let Daphne slip away. And she mentions, which is really the only mention of race in the series, the only mention, where she explains that we were accepted into society because the king fell in love with a different color woman. And they are allowing us to become part of society. The king fell in love with one of us, and we were divided by color. Now, I'm not sure why she said that, because that doesn't seem to be the issue at all. He hasn't made any expressions of her not being black. So I don't. To me, that doesn't fit anywhere in the story. Um, so it is what it is. It just doesn't fit anywhere for me. So he was like, "Love changes nothing, honey. I'll write you. I'm out of here." So down at the Towbridge ball, that old man that Marina wants, that they're trying to hook Marina up with, he wants to dance with her. I want to give her a spin like a car, like a little object. Philippa sees her suitor, and Cowper comes over to Daphne, Cressida Cowper. She's the not as attractive as girl of town, that her mother is very desperate to marry her off. And she stands next to her and she says, you're one of the most beautiful girls here. You could have chosen anyone. Why would you change that for me? Why would you steal my chance at happiness? Daphne looked at her and was like, girl, what did you expect me to do? The man is a prince. That's what we're here to do, is find the best suitor with the highest class to marry to. So what are you so confused about? I'm supposed to let him go with you because you ugly and I'm pretty? Girl, no, we're not doing that. Whatever. Lady Bridgerton is over there knocking them back. She is so stressed out, baby. She don't know what to do. Anyways, Benedict is over at Henry's house and they're painting and drinking, and he's letting him know, like, the first son has all the responsibility of the family name. The second son gets to have fun. So let's have fun. So they're in there painting, passing blunts, drinking wine, whatever they're doing, and they're having a good time. He looks like he's finally in like an environment where he's a little bit comfortable. He's trying to fill these people out, see what they're all about. So down back at the ball, Sienna is, she's, I guess, been commissioned because she's singing her opera music for the ball. And Anthony sees her and he's staring at her. And Violet, Miss Bridgerton, Lady Bridgerton, she sees Anthony looking at this girl of low class. And she's like, oh my God, my family, what is going on with my children, honey? She keeps drinking. Then she rushes this other girl over to Anthony and was like introducing Anthony to this girl. And he's not interested. He wants Sienna's ass. And that's just what it is. Violet's just like looking like, girl, this is a fucking mess. I don't know what to do with my children. So Philippa comes over to Lady Featherington and she's crying. She's like, I don't know what daddy said to this boy, the only boy in the damn town that liked me. I don't know what his ass said to him, but he doesn't want to talk to me anymore. So Lady Featherington walks over to Lord Featherington and says, well, what did you say? What did you do? He said, listen, he didn't tell her. He's like, girl, I'm stressed out, but you are embarrassing me. And it would probably be in everybody's best interest if the girls just waited to next season. She was like, so what's I'm supposed to do? Have these kids basically in my house for another season? No, I don't know what's going on, but you need to fix it. So Eloise is snooping down in her mother's handmaid's quarters. She's snooping. She catches her and she's accusing her of being Lady Whistledown. And she was like, girl, do you think that if I was Lady Whistledown, I would work for you? Girl, do you think I have time to sit down and write a circular about what's going on in this town? Girl, let's pretend. Get the fuck out of my room. So Eloise she can't catch a break. She can't figure out who Lady Whistledown is. So Penelope and Colin are having a conversation. They're back at the ball. And he was like, I've been trying to get Marina's attention. And we all know, at first I thought Penelope was lesbian, but then I realized that she has a crush on Colin. We realized it, but at first I thought her and Daphne were gonna have like a little lesbian thing going on. I'm not Daphne, Eloise. I thought they were, but guess not. Whatever. That's why I thought like she was kind of hesitant on going into society. It's because she really didn't want to marry a man or be partnered with a man. That's what I thought, but they have another storyline for them. So Colin goes over to Marina and saves her from the old man, and they start dancing. And Penelope is through. She's too through. Daphne and Prince, they start dancing, talking about family, having small talk. And he's like, I left my town to find a wife, and this is what I want. And the more that he's talking, the more that it seems like Daphne is having an anxiety attack. Like, girl, this man is talking about marriage. I do not really like him. I really like somebody else. So she was like, he was like, well, and I found like this is the moment. And I think she thought he was about to propose. And she was like, I need a break. I need a moment to myself. She runs outside. And as she runs outside, she's doing all this breathing. She rips that necklace off of her neck because I guess she felt like it was choking her. She rips the necklace off. Simon comes through and she was like, what are you doing here? And he was like, I came to say goodbye to you. She's like, we're not friends, so don't even worry about it. She's playing a game with him, right? We're not friends. And so you wanted to leave, so don't even worry about it. It's not that big of a deal or whatever. She's trying to act like she don't give a shit, right? And he was like, I'm not going back and forth with you. She was like, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be with the prince. He was like, are you going to be happy? Is that what you're going to do? Really? He's going to make you happy, girl? And she was like, how dare you question me? Why don't you go? She let him know. While you go off and whore around town and rake through the country, forlorn and angry. I loved it. I loved it. What she say? Forlorn and alone. That's what she said. While you go through that, and he was just looking at her like, girl, shut up. And she was like, he's perfect for me. And are you going to say anything? And he was like, I ain't got nothing to say. Like, you saying everything, you won't shut up. So she runs away. He's like, Lady, what's her last name? Lady Bridgerton, Miss Bridgerton, come back. He's formal with her now, honey. And so she runs through the garden. You know what happens in the garden, honey. So she's running through the garden. Simon follows her. Come back to the party. He grabs her and he kisses her. And then she kisses him back. And he's rubbing her down, honey, defiling this little flower, baby, picking all the petals off this flower. Honey, Anthony hits the corner. He said, oh, hell no. You're going to marry my sister right now. You're going to make an honorable woman. You're not going to be sitting in the garden feeling all over my sister and you're not going to marry her. He's like, I can't marry her. He's like, are you for real? So you going to do all of this? And she's looking at him like, what? He was like, well, if you're not going to marry her, then I'm going to have to kill you. So I'm going to challenge you to a duel tomorrow. Get your ass out there because you're going to make an honorable person out of my sister. And if not, then I'm going to kill your ass. And then she said, you would rather die than marry me? He was like, I can't marry you. And she's completely confused. She does not understand why. She just doesn't get it. So when she goes back into the ball, Cressida tells her, girl, did you catch a breather in the garden, girl? So I didn't even know that she saw her, but apparently she did see her. I mean, she saw her walk out of the room, but I don't know if she necessarily saw her in the garden. I don't know. Don't tell me how that happens. I may not remember, but I don't know how Cressida saw her. Anyways, did you catch a chill in the garden, girl? No, she caught a dick in the garden, honey. Benedict is at Henry's house, and there he's painting, and he's kind of being hard on himself about his art. And Henry tells him, listen, just be yourself. That's what works for me. Just be yourself, and everything will flow. So anyways, he's like, I gotta go. He didn't realize how late he was there. So to me, I was feeling like that Henry was trying to groom Benedict and get him ready for the takedown. But he was like, okay, I gotta go. And he was like, oh, you're welcome back. If you just want to come back, if you want to come back to paint, if you want to come back for conversation, then you could come back. You're welcome back. He was like, okay. So back at the Featheringtons, they're in the room, Marina and Penelope, and she's talking about how Colin is going to be a good match. He likes me. He's probably going to propose. And Penelope is like, girl, no, like we're not about to do that. She was like, he's perfect. He's eager. And she was like, and we'll all be sisters. And Penelope is looking at her like, girl, no, that's not about to happen. We're going to make sure that don't happen, honey. All of a sudden, you hear her tapping on the window. She acts like she's getting sleepy. Marina walks out, tapping on the window. It's Eloise. Eloise is like, girl, she's so hell-bent on figuring out who Lady Whistledown is. She's like, girl, let's figure it out. She's like, girl, it's late. What are you doing here? She was like, we need to figure out who Lady Whistledown is. She's like, girl, can we do this tomorrow? She was like, no. She was like, I have real problems. I'm part of society. I have real problems. Everybody can't be pretty like a Bridgerton. I said, ooh. She was like, you don't care about marriage. What are you talking about? I thought you didn't care about marriage. She was like, I don't have a choice, girl. I really don't have a choice. So she was like, and what if I do care about marriage? And she was like, I don't expect you to understand. Everybody can't be a pretty Bridgerton. And she hurts Eloise's feelings and she walks away. Anthony and Daphne are having a conversation, and he was like, "Girl, what is going to happen at this duel? You know, that can't happen." She was like, I know that wasn't your fault." He's blaming it on Simon. Usually that's not what happens in society. They usually blame the woman. Usually it would have been like, you did something, or you seduced him. But anyways, he says, you know, what does she say? Hold on. Let me get my notes together. She said, "I was just as guilty." She's like, "You can't duel. Isn't there another way?" He was like, "This is the way." Okay, Mandalorian. No death. The entire fam. You are. She's like, "It can't end in death." He was like, "You have compromised. It would compromise the entire family name." Um, Benedict tells Anthony, "You're going to have to help me." No, Anthony tells Benedict, "You're going to have to help me." And then you see Violet running up the stairs drunk. Simon is over at Will's house, and he was like, "I have to meet for a duel." He was like, "You can't just apologize." He was like, "I insulted Lady Bridgerton, the Bridgerton girl." He was like, "Just how insulting were you?" And he was like, He's like, "I got your back. Don't worry. We'll go together." So Anthony goes and visits Sienna, I guess, because he figures he's going to die today. And she was like, "It seems like you've strayed off from wherever the hell you came from." She's looking at the door like, "What are you doing here?" And he was like, "I have a duel tomorrow." And she's like, "Oh my God, an affair of honor." And he was like, "Yes." And then they start making out, honey, and they have sex. And he leaves in the morning, and she's looking like a damn fool. Like, "Girl, I done messed up. Honey, for all you know, he could have been lying." But whatever. So Featherington, back at the Featherington's house, Lady Featherington is going through all of Lord Featherington's stuff, and she's letting him know that she found out that he has lost their entire fortune and their money, even their daughter's dowries. He starts crying, and she's looking at him like, she tells him first, "You better fix this. You didn't lost all of our stuff. And that's the only reason why Marina is down here, because you owe that man some money, and so you promised to marry his daughter off. That's what's happening. You better fix it." And then he starts crying, and she's looking at him like, "Don't be crying on me." Like, she's looking like, "Okay." She is not into it. She's not into it. Anyways, Anthony leaves Sienna. Simon and Will go down. Anthony and Benedict go down. Daphne is pacing. She goes to Colin. She was like, "Where are they?" And he's like, "I can't tell you where they are. This is man's business. You need to stay out of man's business." She was like, "No, because what if they kill each other?" He was like, "No, they're not going to kill each other. They're going to shoot wide. Don't worry. They're not. It's just a performance, child, of honor. Your brother has to do this basically to show that he doesn't agree with what happened, especially if the man is not going to marry you. So that needs to happen." And she was like, "The affairs are about my future. I need to be included in this." So she was like, "Somebody saw us too. Cressida saw us." And he was like, "What?" So they end up going off. Colin and Daphne ride out, honey. So as they hear the gunshot, Daphne runs up with her horse or whatever, and she falls off the horse, and she's okay. And she's like, I require a moment with the Duke." So she goes over there, and they have a conversation. She was like, "Let me tell you something. We were seen. So you are going to have to marry me. They saw us." He's like, "I cannot marry you. I can't marry you. And if you don't marry me, I'll be ruined. I will be ruined." And she was like, "I didn't know you held me in such a low regard." And he's like, "Girl, it's not that. I just can't have kids, and that's what you want. Look at your family. Look at what you come from. You want to emulate what your mother had. I can't do that for you. I can't have babies." So they go back and act like they're about to start the duel, and she goes, "No, Simon and I will be getting married, period. We ain't gonna do this shit." So it's kind of messed up, because it's like you wanted them to be together because they wanted to, but he thinks that she wants a family and knows that she wants a family, and he can't give that to her. So instead of being honest with her and explaining that to her, there's a lack of communication here, and everybody, and it's starting off with a lie, and then they lied about their feelings for one another. So now they're being forced together. So that's going to cause some problems, as we see in the episodes um, coming up. Anyways, y'all, that is the review. Thank you guys for sitting with me through this. I hope you enjoyed it. I love this series. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to see if we could do Bling Empire later on today, but if not, definitely tomorrow. All right, take care of each other and protect your energy. Peace.